Hello Namibia and welcome to our third episode of the Agri-Trade Policy Talks. My name is Maria Emmanuel, your host. In this episode, we spotlight on the agro-marketing of small-scale farmers based in the Central North. We sit down with AMTA Regional Manager Jacob Amtenya.
We are providing a marketing platform for local horticultural producers, and recently also started including poultry, specifically eggs, table eggs. So what we're basically doing is we're providing a marketing platform for all these horticultural produce produced in the North Central, but we go as far as possible wherever we can get them, so that they have a central marketing platform for all their products. We do this by providing logistical support. We have a fleet of vehicle trucks that go out to farmers and then obtain such produce and bring it here for those farmers that were unable to do that. This is very important in order for us to assist the farmers in reducing the transactional cost associated with logistics. So what we also do is we provide this technical support to these smallholder farmers on how to grow, what type of crops to grow, when to grow it, and how to grow it. Just advice and recommendations, so that at least they could do whatever they are doing in the right manner, such that by the time the products are ready, at least it's product of the nature that we can easily absorb and be able to sell to the market. We always advise them to consult the market first before even planting a single seed in the soil. What we mean by that is that the best advice is that we must do a market-led oriented production, whereby you understand what are the attributes of the products that the markets are demanding, and then you as a producer, you planned accordingly. Because of late, in fact in the recent years up to now, we're getting market flooded with products, good quality products in the eyes of the producers, but in a different maybe quality or quantity in terms of the market. And then that's what we're trying to advise against. There is a lot of opportunities that are in agriculture, especially horticulture and poultry, to assist with unemployment of our young people. We just need to provide them technical skills and a little bit of support in terms of capital in order to be able to produce, because at small scales, if we empower them at various small scales, they should be able to provide in their individual capacities, and then us as a hub, we aggregate that and then be able to serve at the market. So the space is really there. We just need to provide them with capacity through short-term courses, topical issues, training, and of course capital, a small amount of money for them to be able to buy their incubators or quality seeds, and then it should be able to work if we take that approach. I'm saying this because we have seen in the past 3 years, there's been a flourishing of emerging horticultural and backyard gardeners, and they are doing very good for themselves, as such that they are even helping us with importation of certain products such as eggs, for example, and some of the vegetables. So we are vegetables and poultry products that we're supposed to get from other regions and other areas, we are now getting them from these upcoming and emerging smallholder farmers. When you say my favorite crops, I'm thinking of crops that I see there's an opportunity for producers out there. Of course, I was going to talk about potatoes. Potatoes is a very big opportunity there, but perhaps it's a low-hanging fruit, but very expensive low-hanging fruit. But it requires a serious investment. But there's an opportunity there. But what is doable for average smallholders is a space in the high value crops sector, such as herbs, your ginger, your garlic, high value crops trading for about $120 per kg. So these are all, and poultry, and when it comes to poultry, eggs, there's a lot of opportunity in that area. So if our unemployed youth can just be empowered or empower themselves to exploit some of these opportunities, I'm sure they should be able to work out. And these are doable at whatever scales possible. They are not high. They don't require much space. So it's just an issue of someone taking an interest in that, and then it also makes it easy for those of us who trade to give a preference to such youth or whoever entrepreneur sees that opportunity. We have a very open door policy. Any farmer that is interested to trade with whatever, we always advise that they contact us first, so that we familiarize ourselves with their operations, and then be able to give our technical advice, so that whatever they eventually produce, it speaks to the aspiration of our market, or at least at minimum of other markets, potential market out there.
Thank you so much, Igo. We also sit down with Sarah Ekondo, who is an emerging agripreneur based in Ongwediva, running a value addition horticulture enterprise. She talks to us on what it takes.
Thank you, Maria. One of the things that inspired me to enter the value addition sector, especially with regards to fresh produce here in Namibia, is around the world, up to 30% of food produce goes to waste before it even reaches the plate. And on the other side, we have people experience or suffering from malnutrition and other, health or food-related illnesses. So I thought I saw a gap that will enable us to bridge the gap between malnutrition and hungry stomach. Wasted food and hungry stomach. So that is one of the things that actually inspired me to start value addition, or to look into value addition. The product you identify before you start or before you enter the market, I was looking into, for example, butternut flour, and I saw that the mess you have of a fresh product versus the dried, so the difference in mess actually makes for difficulty in pricing, because what seems very good to produce is probably not so economically viable anymore. So for example, from a 7 kg of butternut, you're probably only able to derive 1 or 750 grams of dried butternut powder. So then that led me to explore other produce or products that will be able, or preservation and value addition in other forms that will enable us to sort of maintain the mess and still have a proper value-added product. In terms of technical skills, I was very fortunate. I think there's been a great movement towards growth at home here in Namibia, and a lot of private sector organizations have really invested in various trainings, and that I benefited from GIZ's Value Addition and Food Preservation program, which I attended earlier this year. So that enabled me to gain the know-how on how to preserve food in a way that is sustainable, in a way that actually does not compromise on the quality of the product. And in terms of capital, I decided to start small scale, because with startups, it's much easier if you start with your own resources, and then only after you've tested the market, then you decide to get, for example, some loan or so from a banking or a financing facility. So I was fortunate enough to tap into my savings and just start from there. Small scale, but it was well worth it. The market so far the response has been really great and more than satisfactory. And I think for the scale or the level at which we started, it's quite suitable, given that you are able to. Social media also plays quite a great, gives us great advantage in terms of accessing market. So, and people that you know from, and that's how you access them, and being able to get feedback on how the product is. But what I look at is also growth in terms of, one of the things that got to me was last year when COVID hit, and also earlier in the year when we had looting in South Africa, some of the products were not available here because South Africa needs to meet its local market first before it exports to Namibia. So I'm looking into growing Awana Foods into a brand that is known locally or consumed locally, countrywide, not just in the northern regions, but in the whole country and beyond, looking at the African Free Trade Agreement that's coming. So we're really looking into growing or producing products that are fit for market in Namibia and beyond. Gain the know-how on to produce a product and always produce for a market that greater than yourself. We should not try to play small in terms of, oh, let me just start it anyhow and then improve later on, but start with excellence. Whenever you start, even if it's 5 containers of some value-added product that you are making, let it be your best 5 that you ever made. So basically that's it.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you very much for having me, Maria.
The agriculture sector hosted the first ever Agri for Women Week from the 1st to the 5th of November 2021. Targeting women in agriculture, the objective was to share key information related to agricultural and trade policy, governance, and market access issues. The week started off with the launch of YouTube videos featuring women policymakers and farmers, including a welcoming remarks from the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Anna Shiweda. On the second and third day, the Trade Law Center of Southern Africa, TRALAC, conducted training on topics such as entrepreneurship and trade, opportunities in the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, green economy development, and digital marketing for Agri-Trade. On the fourth day, a robust public lecture took place at NAST in partnership with the ATPI. The Agri for Women Week closed off with a vibrant panel discussion by women experts from academia, government officials, as well as agripreneurs. If you have missed any of the information or you just want a refresher, make sure to access all the material on the YouTube channel of Agri for Women. Congratulations to all involved stakeholders. And that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please make sure you watch out for our next episode and do subscribe and leave us comments in the box below. See you next time.